Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Freeing Your Mind podcast. I'm your host, Daniel Dukeman. This week, we're going to roll solo and we're going to dive right into it. I wanted to talk about ways to correct low self esteem, low self confidence, because oftentimes those things are what cause us to self isolate when we're in a bad mental space. Now, self isolation is where we voluntarily withdraw ourselves from social interactions due to social anxiety, fears, feeling unworthy, feeling not good enough, just take criticism to everything, right? So, how do we overcome that? We need to rebuild our self confidence because oftentimes we're in our low, right? And so, if you're in that space and you're feeling really low and unworthy, you're not feeling like you're confident at all, you can't handle any of those things. We're going to talk about some ways to overcome that and build that up. Now, for me personally, when I was in that depressive state and just really wasn't doing well with life, was having a hard time even wanting to get out of bed in the morning, my self confidence was bottomed out. There was none. There was absolutely zero. Low self esteem, low self confidence, didn't care, didn't have any self worth, just felt like I didn't belong anywhere. Didn't feel like I even belonged around anyone, like I wasn't worthy, I wasn't good enough. So a few weeks ago, maybe a month or so ago, I talked about self care and the importance of self care. Self care plays into this huge, guys. Now, with self care, you have to love yourself. You have to pour into yourself. And oftentimes that's one of the hardest things. A lot of times when we don't have any confidence, a big part of the problem that can be corrected easily, you have to build your confidence up to do it though, is say no to people. If you don't want to do it, just say no. If it doesn't serve you or value you in any way, just stop doing it. Just say no. And that's a hard thing. It's a hard thing for a lot of people to learn to say no, but learning to say no keeps you from becoming overly depleted, which is how you got into the space in the first place. Now, um, self confidence, be kind to yourself. You have to. You can't beat yourself up anymore. You can't have that negative self talk where you tell yourself you're stupid, you're ugly, you're not good enough, any of those things. Don't say it, don't think it. And people sometimes look at me like I'm crazy when I say that, but your body reacts to what it hears and thinks. So if you're constantly, your internal dialogue, your internal narrative is always telling yourself that you're not worthy, that you're not good enough, that you're inadequate, you're going to start to believe that. And chances are you've been talking to yourself that way, either out loud or in your head. So first things first, stop the negative self-talk. Second thing, start replacing that negative self-talk with positive self-talk, positive thoughts, positive interactions with yourself and your being. How do you do that? Well, you have to start by coming up with something to say. And you're probably not going to believe it at first, and that's okay. But what's important is that you actually say it and start telling yourself those things, even when you don't believe it. So, positive self affirmations: I'm good enough. I'm great enough. I'm awesome. I'm a badass. Whatever it is, whatever you want to be, tell yourself that's what you are. Look in the mirror every morning. Say those things. Say those things 10, 20 times to yourself in the mirror. Look at yourself in the mirror when you do it. Do it in the morning. Do it at night. When you're in the bathroom, at work, throughout the day, whatever, washing your hands, look up at yourself. Tell yourself, I love you. People think that's such a crazy thing, but there's so much power in that, in the positive self talk realm. Being positive to yourself makes you be positive. It triggers your brain. It takes time, but eventually, with repetition, you start to believe it. And you'll recognize when you believe it because one day you'll look at yourself in the mirror and you'll smile and you'll realize, like, hey, no, I am a badass. I do love myself. I am worthy. So let's start there. Let's start there with building self-confidence. Number one. Okay. Now, as you continue on, there's going to be some other things that you want to work on, guys. Focus on the positive. If you run around all day and you're saying that life sucks, it's going to suck. If you start your day thinking, what kind of shitty day am I going to have today? You're going to have a shitty day. Change the narrative, change the mindset. Looks like today is going to be a great day. Today is going to be a great day. I can't wait to jump right into this day. It's going to be awesome. Change it to something positive. And again, you may not believe it at first, but you have to start somewhere and just keep that repetition. Trust me, guys. I've been through it. I've done these things myself, and it takes some time. But when you come out on the other side of it, it's amazing. It's so great to look at yourself in the mirror and smile and truly love yourself. Now, confidence. If you're not feeling confident, just start acting confident, even when you're not. What does that mean? That means just step up to the plate and be confident. Be confident in what you're doing, your thoughts, your actions, your words. If you're not, fake it till you make it. And just be aware, you're not lying to yourself. You're pushing yourself to be more confident. Perhaps you need to try new things. Maybe some of those new things involve something that you've always wanted to do, but you've been scared to do. Maybe it's working towards a goal. So in those new things, whatever that is, maybe you have a fear of snakes. Go find somebody who owns a snake, or go to a pet shop and ask them if you can hold one of their snakes, and just use that to get over that fear. Whatever it is, just conquer something that you don't want to do. It can be the smallest little thing. If you're scared of spiders, next time you see a spider, just stomp that thing to the ground and just, hey, I'm not scared of you. Build that confidence, guys. Recognize what you're good at. We all have incredible worth and value that is very unique to us. Most of the time, we just don't recognize it. The world kind of teaches us to fall into line and to be like everybody else, and to just not stand out, right? Stand out. Know what you're good at and own it. So think about those things. Maybe an exercise that you could try is to write those things down. Make a list of everything that you're good at. Bet you'll come up with more things than you think. And maybe you're the best person out there at making your bed in the morning. Whatever it is, write it down, recognize it, own your self-worth, own your value. I think that challenging ourselves is really important, not just when we're in that space where we don't feel very confident in ourselves, but also just in life daily. Challenge yourself. And that could be a simple thing as even take the stairs instead of the elevator. Park at the back of the parking lot instead of the front or the middle. Knowing that it's a little bit more effort, but it's not going to hurt you. Climbing some stairs is only going to make you stronger, right? So as you continue on, guys, I think it's always important to reflect on where you've come, how far you've come, but don't dwell on your past. But periodically look back and recognize, like, hey, I'm making progress. I'm seeing that I'm making progress, and own that, celebrate that. And don't expect things to happen overnight. Don't expect things to just change immediately. You have to work at it. You didn't learn to walk in a day. It took you months of crawling and holding yourself up and doing all those things as a child. It's no different as an adult. When we get into that bad space, it takes us some time to get to where we want to be. We talked a little bit about doing scary things. Something for me that, there's not a lot of things that I was really like, oh, I'm scared of that. I got to do that because I'm scared of it. But maybe there is something that you're scared of. You go do it. I think you'll find that as you overcome those scary things, you'll become much more stronger and self-confident because you did something that you didn't think was possible. You overcame that challenge. Challenge yourself, set up goals, and think long term. When we think long term, it gives us something to work towards. And when you think long term, maybe it's a 6-month goal, maybe it's a year goal, maybe it's just a 4-month goal, 3-month goal, whatever it is. Think longer term and then break it down. Recognize that you may have this window of this 6-month window, right? Break it down into monthly windows, weekly windows, daily windows. chunk it out into small little pieces that are achievable for you to do every day. Little actions, right? We talk about 1 degree shifts. 1 degree shifts are huge. Over time, 1 degree, if a plane is flying to New York from California and it changes just 1 degree, it will end up in another continent. It won't even be close because over time, that one little degree branches out and causes a huge difference. It's no different building self confidence, growth, self worth, valuing yourself, little shifts. So break it down. One of the things that was really beneficial for me was just lots of exercise, going to the gym. And I've never been that guy. I've had to work out for work and stuff, and because we had to stay in shape as a firefighter, and that's important. But I was never that guy who was just like, yep, I go to the gym almost every day, 3 times a week, 5 times a week, whatever it is. Never was me. Once I started doing that, I felt good about it going and going, right? But I lacked the focus that I needed there. So I wasn't really seeing the change that I wanted to change. So I hired an expert. You don't have to pay for a personal trainer to come and spot you while you're lifting weights or anything like that. But there's a online coaches, fitness coaches, health coaches, online personal trainers that will build workout plans for you that will help you dial in your nutrition and all those things so you can actually see results. And if you're going to put in an effort to build self-confidence, I actually think that working out and that physical aspect of things builds confidence very, very quickly. Um, Maybe even before you see the results. And I say that because to me, once I really started, like, I'm going to work out, I'm going to go 5 days a week. And when I started that journey, about a month in, I felt like a badass. And in reality, I really hadn't seen any results yet, but I had spent consistent time in that first month getting to the gym all those days, putting in that effort, getting sweaty, getting tired, becoming sore from lifting weights. And it wasn't until I focused that energy and got the help that I needed to focus it that I started seeing results and track those results. A lot of times, like nutrition shops that sell like vitamins, workout supplements, proteins, those sort of things, a lot of times they'll take your measurements for you, or they have a machine that you can hop on that'll actually, can't really explain how it works, but it'll essentially just measure your body fat. So you can track that. You can get metrics. A lot of times, gym memberships, certain gyms will have the same setups. If not, you can just get a set of calipers and a measuring tape from Amazon for like under $10. It gives you a little chart, tells you where to pinch folds of skin and how to read the device, take measurements of your neck, your bicep, your chest, all those things, your legs, your waist, your hips, and you can track where you're going and track it month after month and see where you go. Give yourself 3 months and put in those efforts and see what happens. For me, that was a big change. Once I realized that I was actually progressing with my body fat decreasing and my muscle mass increasing, suddenly I started to see it because we look at ourselves every day in the mirror, and that's where it becomes hard for us to see change and notice the changes that we're making. And for me, once I had a metric to look at month to month, a piece of paper that was printed off, or just even keeping it in a notebook like I do now, and I can go, okay, cool. Like whatever body fat percentage, my biceps were this big this month. Now they're, a half inch bigger, an inch bigger. And you can track that. And when you start to see that, that increases that confidence because you can see the direct result of your efforts. That's that doing the hard things, doing the scary things. It's where it starts to pay off. And is there ever really a reason why you wouldn't want to be in better physical shape? Working out increases the amount of endorphins, getting them flowing. It's a really good thing. Endorphins gets everything going. It gets your blood flowing, which increases oxygen to your brain, increases dopamine, does all the good things that your body really needs. And really the average workout's 45 minutes. If you don't think that you can cut 45 minutes out of your day somewhere, you can find 45 minutes. Go to the gym, smash out a workout. Even if the gym isn't for you because you don't want to work out around people. I personally, I love going to the gym early in the morning because nobody's there. I love an empty gym because I don't feel like I'm performing for somebody. It's just me. That's in my head. But because I'm not, everybody's there to work out and do their own thing. I just like an empty gym. I don't have to wait for a machine. I don't have to wait to use certain weights. I go in, I do my thing, and I leave. I don't ever have to feel self conscious like somebody's staring at me while I'm sweating or grunting because I'm lifting heavy things, any of that. But if the gym's not your thing, go for walks. Take 45 minutes or an hour. Go for a walk. Go for a half hour walk in the morning, half hour walk in the evening. Split it up if you can't take a full hour or for full 45 minutes. Whatever you need to do. Over time, you'll see the benefits of that. And you'll also find that just doing that gives you time to think. It gives you that alone time because maybe you're already self isolating, but it gives you that alone time. You want to turn it up a notch? Listen to some affirmations while you're walking, some positive affirmations. Go get on your phone, go to iTunes or any number, Spotify, YouTube, any they all have them, and download some positive self affirmations. Listen to them. Pick one that you like that resonates with you, and listen to it every day. Listen to it while you're on your walk. Listen to it before bed. Listen to it while you're getting ready in the morning. That helps you change that thought process. We are literally what we consume. We talk about the you are what you eat, you are what you think, you are how you act, you are how you work out, you are everything according to what you put into your life. So if you have low self-worth, build upon those things. Use that. Say, hey, I'm at my bottom. It's time to build the foundation and build that foundation. And I think that's hugely important because you don't build your foundation midway up. You build it at the base. Um, I really think that for me, a lot of times when I felt at my lowest, I didn't feel confident enough to even tell anybody. I think that was a big part of it. So I buried it. Don't bury this stuff, guys. Life's too short. I love my life now and I'm so happy with it. And I'm so grateful that I have this platform to share my life with you now. And um, it's a rare occasion that I just get to come on here and talk by myself because I really enjoy having other people share their stories because you guys have heard my story, most of you. And if you haven't heard my story, check it out. But know that you're not alone in what you're doing. And you can overcome anything if you decide to overcome it. If you truly desire to overcome it and you want better, you can have it. And there's so many valuable resources out there. I'm always available to anyone. Find me on social media and I'm out there for you. I answer back pretty quick because I am fairly active on social media and I'm always happy to help. I'm always happy that if I don't know how to help you personally, I usually have a resource for you because I've built a network to be able to do that. And I'm grateful for those people. Anybody who comes on this podcast is eager to help other people because they've been through it and they don't want others to suffer. They want to help, they want to see us all thrive. The more we thrive individually, the more we can help others thrive. If we're not thriving as an individual, we really aren't capable of helping others very well because we're depleted. If you have low self-worth, low self-confidence, you're going to have a hard time helping somebody else to feel better when they're in that low space because you're there. But if you can bring yourself up to a higher level, you can help others come up to that higher level with you. If they desire to, just like yourself, they can do it. And so can you. Now, I think on another note with self-confidence, don't take that as that you have to do it alone, but find a friend or a loved one or a counselor, a therapist, a coach. There's lots of great life coaches out there. And I always thought that was kind of a silly thing, but there's some phenomenal people that offer services to help you to change your mindset and to to grow and to become a better, stronger person and to be more confident and be all those things that you want to be. I've had some great people on this podcast that do just that. Um, if you want to learn more about them, check out the previous episodes and take time to seek out those and surround yourself with those that are like, well, that are the people you want to become. If there's somebody that you look up to because of their lifestyle, because of their level of mental health, their physical level, any of those things, surround yourself with those people. Most people who are high achievers in life really want others to succeed with them. Um, there's a thing that we learn over time that we can't pull anybody up. We can't drag somebody along. We're not a tugboat. But there's lots of lighthouses out there that will show you the way. So take time to find those people, search them out, and befriend them. Ask questions and continue to ask questions and continue to take little nuggets and build these things together, guys. I think that there's such power in being willing to approach other people, even when you're in that space with low self-esteem, low self-confidence, because just the act of doing so builds your confidence. It'll build you up. And ask yourself, what do you really want? Think about it and ponder it. Write it down and allow yourself to really let that sink in as to what you really want. And when you figure out what you want, take small daily steps to get to where you want. Life isn't a sprint, it's a marathon, and it's a day by day, piece by piece, but we do it in small pieces, one step at a time. So it's achievable, so it's obtainable to us, and that we're able to truly get what we desire. Use the resources that are available to you. If you guys need anything, reach out to me. I'm happy to help. Reach out to anybody who's been on this podcast, and let's get better at what we're doing. Let's get to the point where we are the best version of ourselves. And when we get to the best version of ourselves, let's get to the next level and become an even better version of ourselves so we can be a light, a beacon of hope to help others and to share with others and to build greatness together. I love you guys. If you need anything, reach out. And thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Got some great episodes coming up in the following weeks that I'm really excited about. And I really look forward to sharing the stories with some of these people and some of the talents that these people have to help other people. Some of them are very near and dear to me because they've helped me quite a bit on my journey, and I'm grateful for them. And I'm grateful for everybody that's tuning into this and that's supporting this podcast. Please continue to share it. Please continue to like it, review it, and let's get the message out. Let's continue to spread the message of hope and well-being for everybody. And if there's a topic that you'd like me to cover, reach out. You can email me at freeingyourmindpodcast@gmail.com. You can reach out to me on social media, and just anybody that you want on to be interviewed on the podcast, anything you want to be discussed on the podcast. If you have a story to share, I'd love to have you on. Also reach out. Let's do it together, guys. The more we help, the more we help, the happier we all become. Let's serve one another. Let's build greatness together. Hope you guys have a great week. Thanks again for tuning in to Freeing Your Mind podcast. We'll see you again next week. Love you guys. God bless.